tonight we are watching Game of Thrones with my Game of Thrones viewing crew, and I have one question for each of them before we watch the show tonight. And that question is, if you lived in the Seven Kingdoms, how would you die? And then it's multiple choice, so they have options. Beheaded, by poison, eaten by a dragon, pushed out the moon door, shanked at a wedding, bravely fighting in a war, drinking yourself to oblivion, head squished like a grape, trial by combat, or I won't die, I'll just warg into another animal. So anyway, let's see what everybody says, and then we're going to watch the show and get some reactions afterwards.
Definitely not push out of a moon door, because that's like 40 seconds of being like, I'm dying, I'm dying, I'm dying, splat. Drink myself into oblivion is a good option.
I think so,
Followed closely by I won't die, I'll just warg into another animal. Drink myself into oblivion, but it has to be a good drink. Like, it has to...
What drink would it be? Well, you like sweet wine,
I know,
so
yeah.
it's gonna be a Riesling.
Eaten by a dragon seems painful. And push out the moon door, there's too much time. I think I'd want to be beheaded, because at least that way I'm probably dying because I took a stand on something, and it's over very quickly. They could then use my head as like a decoration, but...
And that's very Martha Stewart of you to offer that, so...
Drink myself into oblivion.
What drink would you choose?
Ooh.
I know.
Fire beer. Yeah, fire beer.
Drinking myself to oblivion.
Okay, what drink would you use to drink yourself to oblivion?
Probably something fruity.
I would probably go warg into another animal because I've always wanted to be a bird. If there was like a dragon big enough, like because in the world of Ice and Fire they talk about Balerion the Dread being able to swallow a horse whole.
Question, just pick one.
Being able to swallow a horse whole. If I could be swallowed whole by a dragon,
Then you're in like a monster situation where I imagine he's sitting in there with like all like the dragon stomach acid and maybe like gold that he's eaten. I don't know what dragons eat.
which would be really horrifying.
Do dragons eat gold? Is that a thing?
They like gold. They like
Gold
They do like gold. Well, if you're Lord of the Rings,
on
they
the
like it.
inside, so it shows on the outside.
Totally gonna be beheaded or poisoned.
Yes.
Absolutely. Beheaded is quick. Poison sounds like it's gonna be painless and less messy. And I certainly don't want to leave a mess for somebody else to clean up.
Oh wow, that's really nice of you to worry about other people and your own death.
So if I trial by combat, does that mean there's a chance I would live?
Well, this is how you die, so
I have to die. Okay.
you have to die. You have to die. Everybody has to one day or another.
Head squished like a grape, because then I'd always be the guy who's like, man, his head squished like a grape. Like,
Do I have to fight in this combat? Or
Yeah, I mean, you could just walk in and give up, I guess, if you
I
wanted.
can't choose my own champion. No one's picked poison.
Alright, so I actually want to be eaten by a dragon because, you know, circle of life. Better buddy comedy, Brienne and Pod or Jaime and Bronn.
I like Brienne.
I do too.
I like Brienne and Pod too.
I think that's my favorite.
Because she's so like, man.
I just love her.
Buddy comedy, Brienne and Pod or...
Yeah. Or Brienne and... No, I would say that Jaime and Bronn is probably going to be more entertaining, but it'd be difficult to top Jaime and Brienne. I'm just snark fast. It'll be exciting.
Well, you have slapstick comedy with Pod, so...
Jaime and Bronn.
Jaime and Bronn.
Brienne and Pod or Jaime and Bronn, what's the better buddy comedy?
Sam and Jon Snow.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is no.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Sam was.
He'd always be fucking shut up.
Okay.
I think Jon Snow winning, yes. That was a nice, like, yay! Victory!
I've been waiting for that for a long time.
No, I was glad that Jaqen H'ghar came back.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if he was going to come back or not. It's interesting. They're cutting out other characters, but we get more of the characters that we've already come to like.
Daenerys' dragon coming back.
I'm so there. Number one, I love the dragon. It's cuddly and scary at the same time.
Dragon.
Like, I want one.
John getting elected.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for that forever.
Me too. I'm glad it finally happened. I do love the moment of Aemon casting his own vote and
Was that
like
in the book
deciding
too?
it. I don't think so.
I can't remember it. I'd
I
have
don't
to
think.
reread
I don't
it.
think Aemon is like the deciding vote. I don't think. I could be wrong.
And you got Arya back
Oh,
today.
yeah. Yeah. We saw a little bit of what she's going to do. Bran cutting down that dude.
Right.
I've never seen all right, so we had Arya today, and she did arrive to Bravos. She got to the House of Black and White
after a whole little Fight Club kind of a thing.
Right. It was fun. I'm happy she's there. Although I feel like it happened very quickly. I wasn't expecting it to happen that fast. But.
Yeah. The question will be like how much of her training do they do?
Right.
How much
now
of that
she's going to be training
in the season. But that's a fan favorite. It's something I'm excited to see. And
what's his name?
Jaqen Hagar. Yeah.
Thank you. I can't say his name. Say it again.
Jaqen Hagar. Or Jaqen Hagar.
I've read it a number of times. Still cannot pronounce it for the life of me. So he showed up. That was kind of a...
Yeah, so it seemed like they're compressing characters.
That's compressing. I was not unexpecting. That was an unexpected reveal.
I feel like that was like... Yeah, because they're going to be like, yes, we're going to compress characters and not have the same ones. Like, I feel like that was a no-brainer to like, oh, instead of a different Jedi Master guy for her to learn from, they're just going to use the same Jedi Master guy that they already cast. Like, yeah, I feel like that was a no-brainer.
Brian's smarter than me.
After the fact, I'm always very smart.
Also very quickly happened was Jon Snow becoming a Lord Commander of the Wall. That's not an accent that exists in nature or mankind.
Even in fantasy, it does not exist.
No, not a thing. That seemed to happen really fast.
It did happen really fast.
I kind of thought that was going to be the arc of the season. I was like, oh, we're already there.
Or at least like half the season.
Right.
I thought like they would get at least like a couple episodes out of it, because in the book, and I'm sad about this part, because I love the sequence where Sam like spends a couple of chapters like politically maneuvering his election. And here they just kind of compressed it down to one speech. So yeah.
It was a really good speech, and I totally got like all misty-eyed. I was like, but I'm happy that we got to it, because that's something I've been waiting to happen, because I love that. And I once saw a Jon Snow Lord Commander t-shirt, and I was like, can't buy that because it's a total spoiler. So Brienne, and this was brought up earlier amongst our group, you meet Sansa, you don't tell her your sister's alive. That's kind of douchey.
Yeah.
It looked like Sansa in the upcoming episode is now like...
She's going to Winterfell.
She's going to Winterfell, and she's going to revenge her family, or that's what Littlefinger wants her to do?
Yeah, well, he's going to make a play for the North using Sansa, and...
Everyone's making plays for the North. I mean, it was interesting. Last week we did see, when they did the title sequence, we saw the Bolton, the flayed man on Winterfell, which was pretty crazy. And now we have Stannis making a play for the North, and it looks like Littlefinger making a play for the North, which will be really interesting.
Which seems to be the most divergent from the books, or at least something we haven't seen.
I feel like Stannis gets kind of like a bum rap. Like, everyone's either like Jon for the Iron Throne or Daenerys for the Iron Throne. Nobody says Stannis, but I mean, like, is he the underdog here? Is he possibly going to end up on the Iron Throne? Is that a possibility? No, you don't think so? No,
there's a quote in the book. It's one of the best quotes. It's like, Stannis is iron, and iron is hard, but it does not bend. And so it's the idea, he's not flexible enough to be. He's not. They're definitely setting up the thing where like you have to be just and firm.
And he's both those things.
He is, but you also have to be merciful, and he's not.
Right.
He's not that.
And that's what Jon was when he, of course, shot.
And that's what arrow. Right, and that's what Daenerys was not in this week's episode as well.
Oh, awesome moment.
Which one?
Dragon. We saw Drogon.
Yeah, that's fine.
Really? It was he was like a big giant kitty, and I wanted to pet him.
Okay.
I thought it was really cool. Drogon came back. I was thinking though, if like dragons were real today, how fucking scary would they be? Like flying over like the world? Like that would be fucking scary. If you looked up and be like, oh, it's a fucking dragon, I'd be scared shitless. Like that's really scary.
Yeah, if there was something like what's the big pterosaur? Is that the biggest?
The pterodactyl?
Pterodactyl, or yeah, whatever the biggest like flying dinosaur was. Imagine that, but also shot fire at you.
I feel like it would be really fun. Like I was watching Drogon like fly over Marine after he was like, "Hey, Mama, just coming back to say hi," and she like pet him, and then he like flew over Marine. I was like, dude, if I was in Marine, I'd be so fucking scared right now. I'd be like, dragon, not cool. And I feel like Drogon did get bigger. Like he's a lot bigger than the other two.
Right.
Than we saw in last week.
Because he's still free in their cage. Yeah.
So they're like koi fish. They only get as big as their cage. I just want her to like freaking ride that dragon into King's Landing. You know what I mean? Like,
really, I've never heard that opinion before.
Shut up. Oh yeah, we went to Dorne, and we got to hang out in Dorne a little bit. I don't know what happened in Dorne. I'm trying to remember. It's not. It was all set up. It was like okay, and now Jaime's going after Myrcella.
Yeah. Which is different from the books.
Which is different from the book. So that'll be interesting.
We'll
to
say,
see where it goes.
so that's different, and we just kind of have to see.
I was like hoping to spend a little more time in Dorne. I made an entire buffet of Dorne like food, and by that I mean hummus and
grape leaves.
Grape leaves.
I think. What was that?
Oh, and olives. So there you go. That was tonight's episode of Game of Thrones. Thank you for watching with us. If you like to watch shows with me, you can always subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to put it right here. Yeah, just click that button. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.